Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stash Project. Obviously you guys know when we did the Revell video about a week and a half ago now, I was not feeling the greatest at the time. I sounded awful. and so it's been a very busy stretch of week, I guess it would be here at this point, where obviously I was battling some cold-related illness. I also, my car broke down, but bought a new truck, and just general life and everything else. So we're going to be putting out a number of videos here, back to back to back to back. Probably a couple of days to upload them all and edit them all. So hang back. Hang on. We'll get all caught up here. I didn't want to make one gigantic video that was 2 hours long or anything else like that. So for the purposes of this video, welcome back inside the Stash for April 16th, 2018. Yes, it's not quite, but we're going to play that way just to make this video be kind of short. So, on the last week here, there were no real kit announcements to speak of. We do have the information for the Shizuka Hobby Show, as far as what kits will be coming out for that. That's going to be a separate video. And then also, I want to do another video on the Revell situation, just some observations on the insanity that has gone on since last Friday's video. And then we will do another video probably in a couple of days that will be the actual, current up-to-date stash report for the 23rd. So anyway, on the week of the 16th here, there are, like I said, no new kit announcements per se. We did find out from Studio 27 that their carbon fiber decal set for the month of April is going to be for the new Tamiya F1 Ferrari kit. So anybody who's looking into building one of those, there is going to be a very, very robust 3 sheets of decals carbon fiber set for that. It is going to be, again, a very sort of high end as far as the price goes. Look for it to be probably in the $40 range, but it is, again, probably an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper when you put all the pieces together worth of carbon fiber for that F1 car. So, I mean, the kit itself comes with a little bit of carbon fiber from the factory from Tamiya on the actual livery sheet, but this is everything carbon fibered. So, for the people who do F1 cars and who are looking forward to doing that kit, being patient, like we told you originally when that kit was announced, being patient and just waiting for a couple of months before you really start getting into it too deeply will be the best bet, so you can get all of your photo etch bits and bobs and, of course, your carbon fiber. So look for that to come out probably next week, which will be this week coming up. And, we'll go from there as far as that stuff. I can't really cover every little aftermarket bit and bob, but we do try to keep the Studio 27 stuff under wraps. The Taboo graphics or Taboo models expansion sheet, if you will, for the Ferrari has come out as well, which included more tire graphics. I'm guessing that the livery graphics that came with the kit do not include the Pirelli logos for the inside of the tire. They only have them for the outside. So you have all that, and then there are several associate sponsorship decals for various races. Right now, there's some for the Spanish Grand Prix, some for the Grand Prix over in Azerbaijan, and things like that. So it's not necessarily filling in any kind of tobacco or alcohol livery, but just sort of giving you some specific graphics for some specific races, and also, again, fixing the tire decal situation, since apparently Tommy didn't do inside and outside decals, or at least it doesn't appear that they did. Also, I believe there are tire decals in a couple of different colors because they ran at least red ones at some point, and the ones in the kit are yellow. So there's that. So on the kit release side of things, it's very brief. Few things that came out last week, and they are the final Revell USA kit that could possibly be the final Revell USA kit ever. Because even with the German owners, even if they were to, really push the U.S. market, they're probably not going to have the presence here, or at least not like Revell US being, its own thing. So, this could, go out and buy 10 of these, I guess. So you could hoard the last kit ever made. It's not going to be worth anything because there are a gajillion of these out there already. But the first, the first of the kit we're going to talk about in this video is the release of the 53 Chevrolet Bel Air 3-in-1. Kind of an ignominious way for Revell to go out releasing an old monogram kit. At least they did box it in a monogram box. So, I mean, one last good thing on the way out the door was to not confuse the branding on this. This does build, of course, the factory stock as well as a custom, and then the 3-in-1 part was the lowrider parts that were added sometime in the 1990s, so you still get those as well. Beyond that, you know, guys, it's a kit from what, the mid-1980s, so chances are, you know, unless you're very, very new to modeling, you've seen this kit more than once, and, you know, just one last huzzah for it. And we shall see what comes of, you know, Revell's U.S. releases as time goes along. And then there were 3 releases from Hasegawa that we were going to talk about here real quick. One would be the reissue, another one of the Porsche 962C kit. This, of course, a curbside. This time it has a new livery package. I don't believe they've ever done this livery before, and this for the Shell livery for the World Sports Car Prototype series. There's a couple of different liveries in here as far as what races you can build. There's this one of the box art, and there's also the livery for the number 17 car. Beyond that, you know, it's a 962C, and this has to be at least the 8th or 9th one that Hasegawa has done. So, you know, there's nothing to talk about kit-wise. You're buying basically a new set of decals here. The other kit that was released this week, or this episode, I guess I should say, is this. This is the 1/24th scale Bennington B190 F1 car. These 1/24 scale F1 kits, believe it or not, are full detail, which kind of makes it kind of funny because you're taking what is a small car, even in 1/20th scale, shrinking it down, you know, to regular scale, if you will, and then, you know, still making a full detail kit out of it. So it was an interesting, you know, series of kits that Hasegawa made back in the 90s. Obviously, they didn't catch on; they didn't keep doing it. But you know, it's a Bennington livery. What can you say about that? I think that the kit is. I looked it up 2 weeks ago, and I can't remember what color this kit's molded in. I think it might be the lime green color, and then the decals do everything else. I believe. I don't quote me on that, but you know, Hasegawa's tendency is to include all the decals you need and not really make you paint too many two-tones. So there's that. And then one last thing we're going to talk about here. Normally don't do figures, but since these are sort of connected to the release, this right here is the 1/24 scale Formula Driver set. You get 3 figures in here. You get a racing driver standing, a racing driver seated, which you can either put a helmet on or not, and then you have the what they like to call the race boss. You have your team director there as well. I'm not so sure what he's holding. Could be a bottle of bottle of Jack there. He's had enough of the Bennington team. Ironically, the Bennington team is not what the car is here, but if you look, the logos and the for the standing driver anyway, the way they tell you to paint it is for the Bennington team. So that's why we're gonna go. Why I'm covering it here, because this kind of sort of goes with it. But you know, if you're one of those people that likes to put figures in your F1 cars and you're interested in these 1/24 scale Hasegawa F1 kits that they have been doing, know that there is a figure set for them. So you know, if you do want to go that way, the option for that does exist. So anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. Like I said, there's going to be a series of short videos, chop them up instead of one big long one. So tune back in for our preview of the 2018 Shizuoka Hobby Festival, and see you guys.